Hello, I'm Eve from the University of Pennsylvania's English Language Programs, and today we're talking about the Duolingo English Test, the DET. In this video, we're going to look at a specific question type called the read and complete. Here's our agenda. First, we'll take a look at an example of this question type, the read and complete, and then we'll talk about tips and strategies for completing this type of question. This is what a read and complete question looks like on the DET. When you see this question in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see how much time you have left to complete this task. And for this type of question, the read and complete, you have a total of 3 minutes. In the middle, in the larger font, you'll see the directions for the task. Here it says type the missing letters to complete the text below. And directly below that, you'll see the questions you have to answer. So in this case, it's a paragraph, and there are missing parts of some of the words. Finally, in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see this button that says Next, which you should only hit when you're done. Now, let's take a look at what this type of question is actually asking you to do. Again, let's start with the directions. Type the missing letters to complete the text below. You can see there are 5 sentences, and in some places, parts of the words are removed. And the letters that are missing, there are small boxes there for you as the test taker to type and complete those words. There are some clues for the test taker in the form of letters. So again, it's not the entire word that's removed, just a part of it. So your task is to read the sentences and figure out or predict which word comes next. Let's take a closer look at this example. We'll read the first and last sentence. And we want to do this because we want to understand what the paragraph's about, and typically the first and last sentences are complete, meaning there aren't any missing letters in those sentences. So let's see if we can figure out if this paragraph is a story, or if it's an opinion, or if it's informative. So let's start with the first sentence. Minneapolis is a city in Minnesota. Okay, now let's look at the last sentence. The Mississippi River runs through the city. Now, this doesn't seem to be a story, and it doesn't seem to include an opinion. So I think we can reasonably guess that this is an informative paragraph. So it has information about a place, and in this case, Minneapolis is the place. Let's continue reading. Second sentence, it blank, next blank, St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay, in this sentence, we need to figure out both blanks, but we have some clues. We can see that both words are only 2 letters in length, and the test actually provides the first letter in both cases. The sentence starts with it, which, because we read the first sentence, we know it means Minneapolis. The missing word is between it and next. And at the end of the sentence, we can see another name of a town in Minnesota. So we can infer or guess that in this second sentence, the paragraph is about the location of Minneapolis. So in the first blank, this word is only 2 letters long, and we know it starts with I. Now, let's quickly think about 2-letter words that start with I. I can think of a few. Let's see, we have if, it, in, is. Those are pretty common words. So let's see if any of them fit here. So it's following pronoun it, and we can assume that after it, we need a verb. Only one of our 2-letter words is a verb, and that's is. Does is fit here? It is next. I think we can reasonably guess that is the correct word for this first blank. Let's take a look at the second blank. It's another 2-letter word, but this time it starts with T. So it's a 2-letter word that starts with T. I can't really name a lot of 2-letter words that start with T. In fact, I can only name one. To. It's a preposition that shows direction or location. And in this case, it makes sense. Here's why. Next is often followed by to. For example, I live next to a park. The coffee is next to the cereal. So I think we can feel fairly confident that to belongs in this blank. The read and complete question can be really challenging because for this type of question, it requires knowledge of word order within a sentence and also spelling. So here are a few tips to tackle this type of question. First, carefully read the first and last sentences. This can give you an idea about what the passage is about. For example, we knew the paragraph would contain information about the city, Minneapolis, and we were right. We learned where it's located, its nickname, and its attractions. Oftentimes, we're describing a place, we use the present tense, and that helped us when identifying the missing parts of words. Also, use the letters given and the number of letters to help you. In both of our examples, the number of letters, as well as the letters provided, were really helpful. We were able to brainstorm or think about different words we already know that have those letters. And lastly, use context clues within the sentence. The location of the word can be really helpful. Is it the subject of the sentence that's missing? What's the verb? Is there a connecting word? Is the blank describing a noun, meaning is it an adjective? These questions can help you narrow down the possibilities. These are just a few strategies to help you with this type of question, the read and complete. Now, pause the video and try to figure out the rest of this task. You can scroll back to the previous slide. When you hit play again, we'll show you the answers so you can check your work. Okay, here are the right answers. How'd you do? Thanks for checking out this video about the read and complete question type on the DET. You can find more videos like this on the Penn ELP YouTube channel.